What is going on, comic fan? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and it's Sunday night. That means it's time for At Week's End, when we take a spoiler-filled look back at this week of comics and so much more. A lot's happened this week. Before we dive into it, check this out. All right, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell so you don't miss when future videos drop, as well as check out. I don't have anything in the links in the description, so yeah, let's just roll with it from there. What is up, Chris? What is up, Ryan? How are y'all doing tonight?
Well, you know.
Yeah, well, you know.
Well, you know.
I guess I'm doing better than Chris.
Yeah.
Although
you're looking good though, I'll give you that much, man.
I don't know about that. I keep looking at myself in this monitor like crap. What did I do?
You're handsome now. You're really handsome.
Now you can see both chins.
So you guys want to talk about how I just got kicked in the nuts from the great province of Alberta, or do you want to talk about the nice house on the lake?
You can start with your box if you want.
Yeah. Let's talk about that disaster.
All right.
So did you find anything else out since the video? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I got.
Was it in the fine print? Did it say like we are also going to send you 5 copies of cover A?
No word that I've investigated. I got to say thank you to those that have reached out and said some comments about it. You know, it's very appreciated. It's nice to see, you know, the community come together and realize that, you know, this isn't necessarily something that you should make fun of, because I really got, I know I can't swear on Mark's channel, I got hosed.
In all sincerity, me and my wife watched that together, and when we were watching, I'm like, oh man, we're gonna have to go easy on him tonight.
It was tough. So for those that don't know what we're talking about, I had a live stream a couple hours ago where I finally got to open a box from
right on time
from Comic Traders. Yeah, and hold on, I haven't seen what he said.
No, let's go through the chat.
He said, "What did I miss?" Yeah. Just as you were starting to tell it.
Yeah.
What's
Say
up,
hello to everyone.
Chop and Drop 2013. Glad you can make it. The White Shadow is in the building. I see he's gone green and he's going back to Chip Getler. Remy Q Studios, how you doing? Pocan Joe, glad you can make it. Mars Comics is in the building or in the computer, one of the two. Shop for Comics is here. Appreciate you coming by. Miss So, good evening. Good evening.
My boy Rami Salami's back. What's up?
Yeah,
man?
he's been working lately.
I know.
Marty's up in here. Rami Salami, what is happening?
Yes.
So Chris, tell us about the we watched it, but tell everyone in the chat who might not have seen it what you ordered, what you expected, and what they delivered.
Right. So earlier this spring, or probably late winter, Comic Traders, when it was announced that Something is Killing the Children will be returning from its hiatus on issue 16 in 3 or 4 months, whatever the time frame was, they Comic Traders, who is a Canadian distributor for, I believe, Street Level Hero or Frankie's, one or the other, and Jimmy, and they offered a box of 12 variants. I specifically remember the internet screen saying 12 variants of issue 16 for $200 Canadian.
Was this on Instagram, or was this?
No, this was their own website. Like I get their daily email blast, and when I saw that, I thought instantly,
daily? That's too much.
Yeah. Well, you would.
He did call it a blast. So.
Yeah.
True.
Easy, boys. So, so I figured I don't have to travel to all the different comic shops in my vicinity. I don't have to travel into the big city of Toronto to the big comic shops that are in there and spend an arm and a leg. I can just drop 200 bones right now, or about 175 US, and I can have the majority of these beautiful variants shipped to me. I really, really was hoping I'd be able to get the one where Erica was holding the chainsaw slicing through something. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the cover I'm talking about. I really hoped that I was going to get the Frizen 1 in 50. And yeah,
the Electro homage,
the Sienkiewicz one with the 3 different chainsaw blades. With the homage to Elektra. And the box arrived this week, and I was saving it for something special, and I decided to go live with it today, and it was anything but special. In fact, I really got effing screwed.
Oh, it was special, just not in a good way.
Keep in mind, this was 12 books. 12 books. 12. Of like 75 different cover run. So it's almost impossible to get 2 of the same thing here, but
so
they managed something even more special than that.
I can't explain how. I think bitter is the only word right now that can come up, that comes to mind.
I think Chip nailed it. In all sincerity, it's heartbreaking knowing that a company would do that, knowing that your expectations were somewhere, how much you enjoy this series, how you took a calculated decision. Like you were going to give this series your money, and you still chose to give this series your money, and they took away your product though. Like they still got your money, but you didn't get your product in return for it this time. Because you had all intention of spending that money with this company for this book, but you just didn't get the product after spending. It feels like you got robbed, like literally robbed.
Highway robbery.
I did get the 1 in 50 Frizen variant. I'm sure everyone is very familiar with this cover. It's the black and white version of the normal cover that's there.
Okay, y'all didn't see the live banter on Chip's channel last night, but I had a terrible experience opening books as well. That's what that is.
And I did manage to score the 1 in 25. I did pick up the 1 in 25 on New Comic Book Day from my LCS, and so I'm okay with this. I don't mind having a double of a 1 in 25. Again, I'll be giving that away. And for those that don't know the rest of the story,
this is where it goes south. Yeah.
I was also given, the normal. I shouldn't say normal because the Virgin variant is not normal, but I got the Frizen Virgin variant that's colored. But instead of having other things to show you, they shipped me $5, 5 of these, basically $3 books. And then you would think, well, Something Is Killing the Children, issue 16, actually had 2 covers. The cover A with the logo and her as a young girl. And then there's also the same tone, but there's the 3 of them on the cover, which is the Virgin variant, which was, a little bit more limited. And I figured I would get that one as well. But like I said to everyone, like I'm saying to you guys, I said earlier in my live stream, I was promised variants. The box, I bought the box solely and wholly on the fact I was going to get variants. But instead, they shipped me a cover A.
What else, Chris?
But they shipped me 5.
So now you're up to $30.
There's the reach around that Pop's Attic was asking about.
If the Augusta Book Exchange didn't show your channel as much as they do, this is a part where you would be hearing all kinds of language that you didn't think a Canadian could do or say.
Yeah.
They sent me 5 copies of the normal cover. This is not a variant. This is what everyone reads. This is everyone's reader copy if you decided to invest in more than just one issue. So I have 5 copies of cover A. I have 5 copies of the Frizen.
They literally hose people intentionally so that they can get those more exclusive ratio variants. They thought, like, we can thunder pump A's and B's out there to everybody, and we can keep and sell however many we can sell, and then whatever we don't sell, we'll just throw in these boxes as well.
The autograph collector in me, the autograph collector.
Joe took care of it for you, buddy.
Yeah, the the autograph collector in me thought maybe I could put these books in front of Jenny Frizen one day. But what would Jenny Frizen think? What is this guy? What is this guy? A dealer? And I am not a dealer.
Right. No, I went with creep. She's like, this isn't. You're either a creep or you're Chip Getler. He's not a creep, but he's that Frizen guy.
Oh wow, shade. And again, I got those 10 books, and the 11th and 12th book are the saving grace of the box. But I do not have my money back, as you guys know. Again, like everyone in the chat was very, very kind. No one really poked fun. No one really said anything, like, oh, like you deserve it or anything negative like that. But this is a $20 to $40 book. This is a $50 to $75 book.
One of those starter packs.
And
booster pack of comics.
Right.
It is what it is. I did shoot a quick little video afterwards saying I'm going to beginning a push to 500 subscribers. I just crossed over 300 thanks to Mark and his wonderful contest. And I said I'll be giving away, packs of these books. But chances are everyone already has these damn things, so why would anyone want to subscribe?
Man, that sucks, dude, because you announced that at the beginning of the stream, and then like everything just goes downhill.
You're like, if I get any doubles.
Yeah.
All right, for the 500 subscriber giveaway, I'll be giving away to one lucky winner 5 copies of Cover A.
Oh man. And it sucks because I had told you before we even started doing this, and we were really like hanging out every week. I had told you like what I like about your channel is your unboxings, because like you have this visceral presentation. Like you can tell how you're feeling about it, and I see so many people do unboxings. I don't know anything about all those books and stuff, so everybody else does an unboxing and they like quantify their excitement with like, ooh, this is worth $600. And I'm like, oh, I know how excited I'm supposed to be. But Chris comes at it like as soon as he like flips one up, the way he reacts,
just
this
you could see it whenever you got that bad. Whenever you saw that there was a second of the same, you were just like, oh, and like I think everybody's heart sank in that moment that they're watching it, because you could just feel it through the screen, man.
The thing was the books came cover to cover, cover to cover, cover to cover. So I kept them in my lap with the backing board up. And when I pulled the first normal Frizen variant, I was like, okay, well, I have this. And I just showed everyone the 3 books that I picked up last Wednesday. And then it just kind of slid a little bit on my lap. And then I could see, I'm like, oh, I have more of these.
Yeah.
And then it's when I saw the cover A where I was just like, again, this is the part where I want to start swearing, where that sense of not only did I just get ripped off, I got like, again, I can't swear because I have so much respect for Mark.
I appreciate
that. But again, it sucks. Someone sent me, I got a couple people sent me links to their Instagram post talking about this, and all they did was just show 4 covers, none of which one of which was the cover A, but minus the logo. It was presented as a virgin variant. It never said you're going to get doubles or triples or quadruples or even more like what I got of these issues. There was the black and white Frizen 1 in 50, the one in 25.
Why would anyone knowingly go into this purchase knowing that you're getting multiple copies of only those 3-4 books? Like, that doesn't even make sense. But on the same token, how many different covers can this company get their hands on? Because the vast majority of these variants are shop exclusives that they just don't have access to buy or have willy-nilly to send out. How many actual variants
the thing is, they did have other variants for this book, and that's what sold me on it. Like, oh, I'm going to get that tossed in. Well, I don't have to spend $75 on that book. It's going to be tossed in the box. I just dropped $200. $200. $175 for those of you who are in the United States. That's a lot of money, and you just saw the fact that they did sell it on free shipping. So what? Knock $15 off, knock $20 off. You know, it was only sent via, you know, like Canada Post, which is the same as USPS. It wasn't sent, you know, through FedEx or, you know, Big Brown or anything. UPS.
Big
It just
Brown.
it just sucks. It just
Yeah. Oh man.
I really want to be excited about the fact that I got the 1 in 50. I really do.
Bumblebee tuna.
But I could have got 3 or 4 copies of the 1 in 50 for that price. And I could have got that 1 in 50 and the damn cover where she's holding the chainsaw cutting through, and the Sienkiewicz friggin' 3 Electra, or the 3 never mind. All right, let's hit the music again. We are Legion. Let's go.
Yeah. That's what
I'm just kidding. Reset.
Ooh. Now I'm angry.
Are you planning on reaching out to him?
I don't know. I tagged them in my IG posts. But what's the point? What are they going to do? Like,
why don't you just ask for a full refund?
Yeah.
Like, the hell with that 1 in 50. Get a full refund and just buy you a copy with $30-$40 of that $200 they give you back.
Right. Yeah, it's tough.
Let's say forget the idea of doing the giveaway. Just make a bonfire and post it and tag it to them.
Right.
Yeah, but I also don't want to insult Titan either. Like, I'm enjoying his series. I don't want to burn the books.
Don't burn those books. There's plenty of copies. You should tag him in the post. Like, look what people are doing with your product. You're using the popularity of your talented writing skill to con people. You're taking advantage of your stuff.
Yeah.
It's tough. Comic traders, for those who use their product. I at the beginning of my videos said, for those of you who are in the United States who store exclusives, sell out on them, explore some Canadian suppliers, because they'll ship to the United States at the same cost. But I've dealt with Comic Kingdom of Canada. They're in Canada as well. I've had no issues. I've dealt with Mutant Beaver, no issues. In fact, they throw in free books. You know, even if you just buy one singular book, they generally throw in, you know, 1 or 2 books. Maybe they're Vampirellas. You know, I'm not a big Vampirella guy, but you know, to each their own, right? But still, a free book is a free book. It's an act of kindness, right? And then
really, Tyler.
and then I just got, you know, if this were fantasy sports, I just got trade raped. But anyways,
I don't know, man. I would be willing to send the comics back to them for all my money back, or they can send me back half and I'll keep them. But they did not send you $200 worth of value. That's not a fair trade, and not if it's not bad luck. Like, if you buy one of those like key boxes or something, and like you get a bunch of books that like have legitimate potential to become keys but aren't necessarily keys, like, that's just bad luck. You bought something you can't really flip at the moment, but you can sit on it. But I don't know, like sending you a bunch of A copies and even the variant copies, like you can pick all those up for like $5 right now.
If you actually can pull up their website, they have the Frizen normal variant there. I thought I saw it for $3.
For $3. See, and that's the other thing is, like, I understand you want to collect these because you love the series. Big fan too. I'm not saying like you shouldn't, but the thing that people kind of forget about some of these is, like, you know, rarity is what creates the aftermarket value that a lot of people are looking for. This book is way overprinted. I shouldn't say overprinted, but accurately printed. So there's no reason to believe that all the A and B covers are actually going to elevate themselves much more than they already are, you know. I don't see a lot
definitely
of
not in a raw form. Not in a raw form. And you know, there was no real first appearances in this. I know the lady who takes Erica under her wing and saves her from her home actually has an appearance earlier in the series. So it's not like it's not a key. It was just an important book because we finally got it back. You know? And like I said, you know, most of those who generally watch this show know that how much of a fan of something is killing the children I really am. Like, I've been talking about this book ever since I went live on YouTube. And again, if I could swear, you would see what kind of words I learned during my military time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
man, that sucks. I'm so sorry to see that because it's too ridiculous. Like they knew they were ripping people off when they put that stuff in the box.
I thought it was going to be a real fun unboxing, not necessarily a mystery box. Like you talked about that I open mystery boxes, and when I get something that I like, it's hard not to be enthusiastic about it, right? Like when I finally unboxed my Hulk 181, like it was 30 years of wanting a book, and I finally got it in my hands. Like I get a little emotional just thinking about opening Hulk 181 because a lot
For
of us
years.
Wolverine is something very special, right?
Yeah.
And again, I finally got my hands on it, and now I have it at home, and it's not going to be something that's going to be leaving home anytime soon. So I'm not going to say I feel the same way about Something Is Killing the Children as I do about Wolverine. However, Something Is Killing the Children has been something very, important in my
current life.
Reading current comic books. I would say
Yeah.
Something Is Killing the Children is better than the Amazing Spider-Man we've been given. It's better than Batman that we've been getting. Like it's up there, top 5. For most people, I would think. I generally feel most people would put Something Is Killing the Children in their top 5 of the last calendar year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I thought nothing of it to drop 200 of my really hard-earned dollars on a box, and I got hosed. Does that say bird? Yeah.
I do want to say Alex Big Blue, he won the big large box of things from Simple Simon.
Nice.
Yeah, so congratulations on that.
Alex Big Blue is a good dude.
So I got a package in yesterday from a Kickstarter called Eden Sky. And when I got it in, I was hanging out with the White Shadow. He went live yesterday afternoon just to do a hangout, a community hangout, kind of like we do on Friday mornings.
Yeah.
And so I grabbed some stuff to open up that came in the mail that day. And when I opened it up, I got the trade dress and the Virgin set because I wanted that Virgin set because it's a John Jang exclusive. And when it came in, these are not bagged and board. I took them out of the bag and board. Do you see something wrong with this?
Is that a sticker on there?
No, because I reached out and blasted the owner of this Kickstarter, and he said those aren't stickers, they're foils. So I said, correction, jackass, they're stickers. And luckily I was able to peel them off. I carefully and methodically peeled them off on a live video. And while I was there, I posted into a group, like, I'm excited about these covers, but why would you put a sticker on them? And he commented under the thread, like he saw it and commented, oh, I don't know why you're upset about it. Everyone else has enjoyed them, blah, blah, blah. And then the thread started filling up with people talking about how this is crazy. This is insane. And I reached out and talked to somebody that I know that's close to this project. And he said that he didn't, like, in all seriousness, I don't want to really throw it out there, but he said he doesn't even know why that kind of practice would have been done to this. It was just beyond him as well.
Something Is Killing the foil.
Yeah, they attempted to kill this cover.
Is that like a car dealership thing where they're like trying to get free advertising because you bought it from them?
I don't know, man. It says Eden Sky first edition on it, and if he's like, I put him on there so people know that they have a first edition, and I'm like, dude, like the inside cover says first edition, just like normal books, like why would you put that on the cover? Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I was happy that I was able to get him off.
Why wouldn't he just put that on the bag for the bag and board? Like,
and he was using words like, I buy these foils and emboss them myself. And like when you're dealing with comic books, using the word foil and emboss, that has a completely specific meaning with comics. You know what I mean? And a sticker is neither of those things. I looked up the multiple definition of foil, and at no point, and I'm not even joking, at no point could you find a working definition of foil that refers to a shiny sticker. Like I wanted to just grab a pack of like gold stars out of like the little pack of kid stickers we have and be like, look, my son gets a foil every time he goes pee-pee or something, like. I wanted to just go crazy and blast this dude, but everyone else in the chat started popping in like, dude, that's nuts. Why would you put that on the cover?
Yeah. I think we should change the name of the show to At Week's End of Misery.
No, luckily, like I said, I methodically peeled them off, and the book is fantastic. It really is. Like, I'm completely happy with the product. It's like the production of the book and everything. It's all flawless. This is the first time I've ever received a Kickstarter that didn't have anything in it but the books. You know what I mean? Normally they have something in them, but
really,
this dude couldn't put anything to the people that are paying to make this happen because he's too busy spending their money that he's asked them to give him to make it on stickers. You're running a Kickstarter and you're spending Kickstarter funds on stickers to put on books.
You sound like Allen Iverson talking about practice.
It's just crazy.
We're talking about stickers here. Stickers.
Legion of foils.
Like we're talking about stickers here. And this is a John Jang exclusive. And we're talking about stickers, man. Stickers. Jang's even got his own hashtag. Jang Gang, and we're talking about stickers. That's my Allen Iverson impersonation. Yeah,
that's fine, Tyler. I still have Tyler's book sitting right here that I'm A-okaying him when I get around to going to the post office. I'm just going to let him look at it in the background till then. But I'll be sure to foil it before I send it, bro. Don't worry. Don't worry. Since you're so pro foil.
Hashtag savage.
There better be a whack hack involving foil in this.
Dude,
I'm going to be very disappointed.
I'll tape the COA to it. Order a comic skin real quick. Just send him one like he sends out. Just get it nice and graded. Send it to
PGX, here I come.
Send it to Pocan first. Let him encapsulate it.
Right.
Permanent encapsulation. Oh, Pocan, are you in the chat right now? Throw a comment up if you're in the chat. But
that was pretty good.
Foil's life. Please foil it for me, Mark. Okay. I'll dude, it'll be an Eden Sky first edition John Jang Last Ronin exclusive. That'll be a one of a kind.
Oh.
All right, Pocan. We decided last night on one of the wildest community hangouts in a while over on Cardboard Crazy's channel. We was kind of organizing and spitballing ideas for the 24-hour comic fighting cancer charity drive he's going to do. So Remy Q Studios is known for doing antics like chainsaws and stuff like that. So I decided that the contest that we did for the 800 subscriber for the book you're going to encapsulate is going to go to Remy Q, and he's going to attempt to work some things over on it. He's going to put it through the gauntlet as well. So that's going to go to Remy Q Studios, and I'll forward you his stuff or whatever. I'm sure I'll talk to you more about it, but that's who it's going to, so that it doesn't die. When you ship it, you'll see it again. It will appear in more content. That way we can get the most bang for our buck out of that. Dad. Just slap
It'll be so good.
Put the shipping label up right on the cover.
Great idea.
Yeah, I think it is, because if Joe's going to go through all this effort and make it part of his Evil Lair thing and do all this cool stuff with it, wouldn't we want to see it again? Because once Joe posts that video, that's all that we get, and then we send it to someone, they put it on their wall or something and have this super cool, expensive book, bulletproof encased and everything. I want to see it again. I want to see what Remy comes up with, because he's super creative too.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of the deal when I talked to him. If I want to send it to him as long as he attempts to test its vulnerability. So yeah, this has been an awfully great start to a Sunday night.
I know we haven't even talked about a comic book yet. Well,
yeah, we have. We've talked about 15.
We talked about 5 copies of one book.
Yeah, that's a good point. 1, 2. We talked about 6 comics. Just a lot of copies of them.
Again, I want to swear so bad.
I know, man.
Can we go backstage for a little bit so I can just unload?
So as soon as not a problem. As soon as
what Joe said, indestructible.
Your timing was good because I literally started swearing.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as Joe said it was indestructible, I saw Remy look up like that. Like I'm like, dude, it needs to go to him.
Remy's real job is like a demolitions expert or something, right?
I think he's the real life Wreck-It Ralph.
Ooh, that is awesome. Also, that sounds appropriate.
Joe Fest is at the end of this month, and it's like June 25th through 27th. And they're also having its Pride Month, so we're having our the Augusta Pride Parade will be the same weekend, and it's downtown as well. So I don't know how parking or any of that stuff's going to go. It's kind of events are kind of cramming on the top of each other right now due to limited amount of time in the year with stuff open. So it's going to be a Venom number 7, New York City Comic Con, limited to 3,000 LOL. That's still like the ultimate Fallout 4 idea.
Wait, what?
He said he's doing it with like more than one book or something. Joe's you saw where Pocan Joe doesn't trust CGC or CBCS, PGX, ECG to actually protect your book. So he's going to encase a book in his own high quality bulletproof resin, put a label in it and everything, and then put it to the test. And then he's going to AOK went out to somebody who followed the instructions in the 800 subscriber live giveaway that he put out there, and Remy followed the instructions, and he's really the best person suited for the job to own that thing. It literally belongs to him. You know, that makes sense. It's just natural.
Heck yeah.
After Joe is finished with it, pass it around to other channels to do a video trying something different to crack it. Well, that's why we're sending it to Remy Q. We can send it to one person, and no one else has to pay shipping because he's going to try it all. He's the chainsaw unboxing guy. Like he's the man for the job. That way, none of us potentially get injured in the process. He's got the hockey mask. He's safe. I like Chip's new look too. He's always changing it up. Look at that. I don't think he could change it again. That's like 4 times in one day.
Right.
I sent myself to CGC for protection.
Better fast.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the tea. It's going to be awesome. Chip said, "Thanks, I got a new haircut." All right. So there's been some news coming out, and I feel like it's been talked about and everything. Immortal Hulk is wrapping up at issue 50. They made the announcement that Al Ewing and Ron V are going to be moving over to Venom. They also made the announcement that Donny Cates is moving over to the Incredible Hulk. What's this?
No, I'm just like, yep, Ron V.
I thought we were phoning home.
Right. No, that was me just doing the flip around there.
You did the flip around on your live stream earlier.
Did I?
Comic traders flip around.
Oh, yeah. Something certainly got effed around. I don't know about flip around.
Jupiter's Legacy got canceled, but they are going to continue the universe with a I forget the name of it. Crime Kids or something goofy.
Right.
They're going to be focusing on the villains.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll do well.
I'm
just in a bad mood.
Yeah, this is awesome though. Cranky Chris, I like it.
Yeah. Did you see the budget on this?
On the new one or the one they canceled?
The one they canceled.
No.
They spent $220 million making that season. Yeah.
$220 million. They pulled the plug after 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was number one. It was trending number one on Netflix for 2 straight weeks, I believe, or something.
Yeah, but I have questions about that. Since they don't release data, we don't really know what is trending.
They just put something. Yeah, they put it there so people will actually.
They wanted us to watch that the most.
Like I said before, I think Mark is in agreement. I thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. I thought it had a great twist ending. I didn't see it coming, although it was a little. Some people thought it was a little predictable. I thoroughly enjoyed it right from start to finish. I'm sad to see it go. It's funny. It's funny that didn't make it, but yet the boys keeps getting renewed, and I thought it was the same, quality of filmmaking.
Yeah, now, you made a
cranky vet.
You made I think it was Ryan that said like something about like it left it on a big cliffhanger, and I said, "Have no fear. There's books out there that fix that problem." So I completely planned on it. At this point, I wasn't going to like read the books ahead because I hadn't read it before, and I'd rather just. If I'm going to watch the show anyways, I'd rather watch it and not know and be surprised and then go back and read the books if I feel like I want to, because there'll always be new content in the books that don't make it to the shows. and not normally always the other way around. So now I plan on just going back to the book sooner than later. They're at my LCS, so I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, if you remember, a lot of collectors were talking about they didn't see any movement on the price of any of the Jupiter stuff as soon as, like, whenever it dropped, hardly anything moved. So I guess that was kind of an omen in the first place.
Right. I thought it was strange. There was no, like, we didn't get teaser trailers. We didn't I didn't know that was coming down the. I didn't know it was coming down the pipe. And it was filmed here in Ontario, and I didn't even know it was being filmed.
You didn't see him filming it?
No. Normally I do. Just outside my hat. Just outside my place here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This whole thing, it kind of feels like it's been a money pit from the beginning because they announced that massive deal.
Mark's gone. Sorry, man. He's gone.
Oh my God. This is great. I hate that you're upset, man.
No, man, I got a 1 in 50. That's it. I got a 1 in 25, and they gave me 5 copies of cover A. 5.
I
think my LCS may still have box. 5.
Not just one copy of the regular cover in a variant box.
5
copies of the regular cover in a variant box.
Like
you just got Sarah Palin. I can see Russia from my back porch. It was 200 schmeckles or 175 US.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I hope the Augusta Book Exchange really appreciates my language
right now, dude.
I hope that they put my channel on repeat the way they put yours on repeat, just as
that one section,
just as a soft nod for not swearing.
Yeah, you don't really swear on your channel.
I swore today.
Yeah, there's a reason to.
Even then, I actually felt bad. I'm like, I hope I didn't upset Mark. But I had to flip it off.
You hang out with me enough when we're not live.
Oh, this is true. This is true. For those that are watching right now, when the 3 of us go backstage, Ryan just kind of goes quiet, and Mark and I are just like basic training. Every other word, like a factory setting. It's just you're learning swear words didn't even exist. Like I use like the C word as a verb. Like it's just. Like it's fascinating to watch. If there was ever outtakes or bloopers the 3 of us could release together and just like release it on DVD, we could make some money just like the swearing alone. Like, my God, it'd be like a war movie without the war.
It'd be a Tarantino film, just shotgun dialogue, unnecessary amount of F words. Like Dust Till Dawn.
Yes, a lot of Devil's Advocate and swearing thrown in on top as pepper.
Yeah, substitute cuss words with the name of the shop, the name of the shop you bought the book from, and let it rip. You'll feel better. Man! All right. So, in all sincerity, I don't feel like talking about Donny Cates taking over the Hulk. It's going to be a hype train of a bunch of people who don't give a rip about the Hulk, or they would have gotten on the best run that we've had in decades. They're going to pretend like it's the best thing ever, and they're going to not know the difference of a good Hulk story from a ridiculous King in Black story. So I'm not excited about – I'm excited there'll be more people to talk about the story to. And because, I'm going to be buying it no matter what. Not a fair weather Hulk reader, I'm in it to win it.
That's cool. We'll just trade notes on Thor and Hulk, and we'll basically get it.
Yeah, that's true. Because you're reading Thor, I'm not. Yeah, I hope it's good. But my biggest fear, in all sincerity, is that he's going to do something where Bruce finds out he has a kid, or he's going to just pick up somebody's kid that doesn't belong to him and keep him around so that he can learn how to teach this kid to not be like him.
Like Iron Man 3?
Yeah, it's going to be stupid. King in green. yeah, exactly. I'm not excited about my favorite Marvel character, tied for my favorite character ever, getting the Donny Cates treatment. I'm not a huge fan of the Donny Cates treatment, but we'll see where it goes. I'm hoping that it's amazing.
It could be worse. It could be worse. It could be Nick. Spencer.
That's very true. But you never know. He might just suck at writing Spider-Man.
I was going to say, however, the Chameleon conspiracy was actually okay.
That's good.
It was okay, and that's setting the bar pretty low because normally ASM does have good writing. Well, I can't even say that because Dan. Never mind. Cancel everything I just said. The book, this recent ASM, is actually a good book, only because Peter's sister shows up, and that's very intriguing.
Peter has a sister now?
Kill surprise! Yes, Peter now has a sister who was founded and trained by Nick Fury.
That's funny because
wait, what was that last one just up there? Is he going to finish what?
Is he going to finish the story this time or just drop the ball again? He's going to drop the ball or he wouldn't be consistent.
Oh, Kate's.
Yeah, that's just his thing.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
I thought it was interesting because earlier I was listening to First Issue Club, their Patreon episode. And at one point, it's like two guys talking, at one point they're like, "Are you reading Nick Spencer on Spider-Man?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "What do you think of it?" "I'm not really into it." "Me neither." And then they just go back to talking about all the other books.
That's how our review of it goes. He's like, it's Spider-Man. Next.
It seems pretty unanimous.
This is a nice cover.
Every podcast, every video, they're all just like, I don't.
But big up, in all sincerity, big ups to you for fighting through the mud because you are a Spider-Man fan and you're a collector of Spider-Man and you don't drop it when it's letting you down. I'm about to be going
in a year's time, I will say the same thing to you for the Hulk. So those who are watching, please send me a short little note next June to remind Mark that I show a great appreciation to him sticking by the Hulk, even though it's just a hot pile of trash.
You want me to put it on the calendar for June, whatever the closest June 6th next year is? I'm going to put it on the calendar right now.
Right. We'll probably have 12 different covers for issue 8 at that point, and
it's going to be June 4th.
Okay, and it'll we'll probably have something silly like the death of the Abomination
again,
because that's how it'll springboard off to something and then just pull a Wile E. Coyote.
I put Chris needs to thank me for reading Hulk.
Super genius.
It's in there. Saturday. I need to go one more day.
I just want to congratulate both of you for throwing money away in the face of adversity for
too soon, man.
Some point of your personality that I'm sure you have pedestaled.
No, yeah. But here's the thing. We'll know what's going on with him, though. We'll know.
Yeah, you'll know what's going on as well as I do.
Yeah. A little bit better. Not much.
I am looking forward to Al Ewing's next venture, though. I gotta admit, I've developed quite a respect for Al Ewing's writing.
Tell me what you look forward. In all sincerity, tell me what you're looking forward to about the potential of him taking over Venom. Because all I've seen so far is just that one panel of the symbiotes flying through space like astronauts, which I think is.
And also make sure you highlight why Rom V keeps getting left out of this conversation.
I've already mentioned him.
I know, but he's excited for Al Ewing, but there's another half a person to write the story.
I'd like to see him
after him.
I'd like to see him drop Venom on like a war world type of place and just leave him there for a while and have him battle his way out, or have his kid as the trophy, and he has to go through a tournament of other symbiotes being being carried by different alien races. Like let's see someone from the Scar carrying a symbiote, or what about Gladiator from the Fantastic Four fame? Have him carrying a symbiote, Who knows, man? If Al Ewing can take the Hulk to the depths of hell and bring him back through little green doors and make it look spectacular, why not?
My thing is Ron V and Al Ewing are going to be tag teaming this. Al Ewing has proven that he can write the outrageous. He can add stuff to lore. He can do the space stuff. Ron V seems very grounded. So this will be like my first experience with him taking stuff out to a cosmic level. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do, but I don't really feel like this is necessarily his forte. And writing with a writing team, I don't know if that's going to work out great for either of them. That seems weird. Like, why is that even a thing? Like, are they going to be trading issues? Are they going to architect it together and go 5 for 5, or what are they going to do?
Why couldn't we get Ron V on ASM?
I like him.
Anyways, if Ron V can,
let's
say, if Ron V can take an unlikable host and give him the Avatar of the Green, maybe he can do the same thing with Eddie Brock.
That's true. We'll see.
Yeah, that's kind of been my thing. Is like out of the two, I definitely trust Venom with Al Ewing and Ron V more than Hulk and Cates. But I think those are very like opposite writer people. Because like. Cates is all about people's connection to each other and like how are we connected and related and what is our relationship and why do we hate each other? And Al Ewing typically and Ron V both typically kind of write a lot more internal struggle. And so I do think that will be interesting on the level of like Eddie Brock and Venom. Like how do they relate to each other? Why do they hate each other? Why are they in this eternal dance? Like I think the internal strife is something they both write very well. So to have them as a team on that makes sense. I don't know about putting them in space, but like you said, that could be an interesting way to kind of like test the different aspects of their personalities and make them really come together as a team and work as one. But it just feels a little like rehashed too, like how many times are we going to watch Eddie need to really learn to work with Venom and stuff like that, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
Well, I'm not going to be picking it up. I'll be paying attention to what's going on in it, but I don't think I'm going to be picking it up. I might read some of it digitally just to see where it goes, But even if it's amazing, I don't think I need it to take up space in my house, if that makes sense. Then Google Spider-Man shirts.
Yeah. Google Legion of Comics shirts. There's only one. That'll be easy to find.
Yeah. You go to every stream and ask people to stand up, go full screen, take their headphones off. When people half the time aren't even wearing headphones when you're asking them that. It's enjoyable to see you ask, but it's fun to say no.
You don't think he needs the design for like a sweatshop print or something?
At week's end of misery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
normally everyone we're not that sour. Normally we're not this sour, but right where Ryan is the happy guy, it's a different kind of show.
Yeah. we done cross streams here or something.
Right. I was literally about to say when I'm the one that's trying to keep the energy up, there's a problem.
Well, it's working. It's working good though.
So any other news that y'all wanted to talk about this week? I think that was it, right?
I believe so. That's all that I could remember off the top of my head. I kind of got thrown off by
Cranky Chris.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's a hockey bag?
Yeah. What's a hockey bag?
That's old now. That's old.
It's not going anywhere.
It's retired.
Well, what did y'all pick up this week?
Okay.
All right, Chris, we're going to start with you, man. You need to talk about books that you did get that you wanted. Oh, no, and he froze.
Y'all there?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. That's right.
Back. It's okay.
We're just wallowing in the misery.
I'm going to show a trade paperback that these two gentlemen have been quietly holding off the ending for, and they've been pushing me to pick it up, and I've been looking everywhere around Ontario for back issues, and I can't find any of the 5. And I picked up finally the trade of We Live, which was released, I believe, 2 Wednesdays. 2 Wednesdays ago. My LCS got their copy last week. I have not gotten into it. Mark and I actually spoke about this when I picked this up. Mark and I spoke, and Mark gave me specific instructions. Read it and take a break. Put it down. Read it, take a break, put it down. Read it like how you would 5 into. Yeah.
I said if you want to just get through it, give yourself at least 30 to 45 minutes between each issue. Process it. Take the time break.
And apparently, I should go check out and listen to the music as I read this as well.
Yes,
I guess there's a soundtrack. Yeah.
Hit them as you go and just read through it. It sounds weird to do that, but do it.
But it's very colorful, eh? Like it's
you have no idea.
I'm glad that you guys, for the few months that we've been doing this, you guys actually haven't spoiled it for me, even though this is a spoiler-filled show. But it really looks like nature has taken Earth back over. Even if this is Earth, I don't know, but I'm sure I'll find out in the next week. So hopefully,
that cover is by the interior artist, so that's the quality of art you're getting inside as well.
Oh, it's beautiful.
David De La Cruz on the colors.
But yeah. So I will start with this.
Real quick.
Finally did we get a good Batman from JTIV?
Yes, we did.
And from RV, we got issue 4 of The Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
A fire cover. Just fire. Suicide Squad issue 4. Again, that should be under the Black Label, in my opinion. Another fire cover.
No, it's better.
I wasn't a part of your rap battle, man, so I don't want no sarcasm. I feel like I missed something.
Yeah. All right. What it is I don't want to butcher his name. Abtiz. He asks everybody every stream that he hops on. He asks him to stand up.
Oh.
And he doesn't just say, "Can I see your shirt?" He's like, "Can you stand up? Can you twirl, touch your toes, and show me your shirt while you're naked," or something like that. But he says the same thing every time.
Like this is a copy paste statement. Yeah, like he says the exact same thing every stream, not just us, like other streams too.
Okay.
People won't even wearing headphones.
So then that's Tyler hopping on me saying he wants to see.
Yeah,
I got bad news. I'm not wearing pants. So see, I'm not wearing pants.
Lick your lips.
Boom.
Lick your lips.
You want that, comic traders? No pants. I'm gonna rub your product. No.
Yes,
I'm wearing shorts. But I don't even know where I was. All right, thanks everybody. Good night.
You just showed Suicide Squad. You just showed Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. That's a great cover with Amanda Waller freaking out. Anyways, I picked up another great cover.
Oh, I love that. I really do.
Yeah, I think this is a kind of book that you may want to consider grading just for yourself. You know, it's. I think it's fire. I picked up the Iron Man Annual issue number 1.
I think I got that too.
Glad to see Dan Slott's not butchering that crap.
Someone else's?
The Immortal Hulk. Yeah.
I got
McKay.
Iron Man's been so bad, but it's not Cantwell, so I don't even want to read it because it's just like the start of something and something that I'm not going to be reading.
The when I did my new comic book day haul, I forgot to mention like how beautiful Ross did with this cover. Like, it's just I love the way he does Captain America normally, and to see Captain America getting just chokeholded away, like, goodbye, Cap. You know, I'm taking your toy from you, and you're going home. Yeah, it's a good cover. This is the first Amazing Spider-Man I enjoyed in probably 7 issues.
That's awesome.
And
that's how we feel about Batman.
And I feel like I'm actually exaggerating. It was just okay, but okay when the crap we've been reading lately, this makes it good. And I'm glad to see. Yeah. Because I shouldn't have to say it's okay about the franchise.
Oh yeah, that's also what everybody says. How is your most title mainstay character not getting properly written?
Oh yeah, it's okay.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. Shadow Taylor Winder. It's fine.
It's fine.
Firepower ×2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, Jenny Frizen's making another appearance, but thankfully it's not on Something Is Killing the Children.
Oh, that's a nice cover.
You mean you don't have enough Jenny Frizen by now?
No. You know, she just does good work, man.
You can wallpaper your wall behind you with just Frizen now.
Right. Her Wonder Woman stuff is actually really good too. Okay, so here's the part where you can all just start talking trash.
We're ready.
Yeah, I have not heard good things.
I feel like we don't
Taylor
need to.
Winder said that book would have been better if Savage Dragon wasn't there.
Watching you hold that
he
book
might be
up
onto something. It was again.
It should be his new channel avatar. Him holding North Force.
Frig. Okay, I'm just gonna move on because
you didn't have to buy that, did you? Did North Force come in the mail to all residents of Canada?
Yeah. I guess the Eric Larson fans, the Canadian fans, but yeah,
it is a cool cover though.
Which one? North Force?
Yeah,
it's horrible.
I like it. I like that. It looks very 90s and retro to me.
The artwork, the interior. When we talk about it, I will grab my butcher knife and show you what's up.
Oh, wow. Bold statement.
This was actually really good. Basilisk, number 1.
I enjoyed
Interesting story. Cullen Bunn. And from two cool guys, two hot picks, or as the women say, just two hot guys. Mark's pick was Out of Body, and mine was the best read of the week.
Those were two solid stories back to back just then.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent books.
Yep. Dude, I was very impressed.
My God, you want to talk about M. Night Shyamalan type of twist? Holy crap!
Tynan might not want to be tied to that horse. It's already dead.
Scott coming in hard. Oh God, North Force 1. It really was a bad week for the comic vet.
Yeah, issue 0, because that's what I should have paid for it.
Ouch. I don't remember what order these are in. So, Suicide Squad, excellent read. That's my read of the week. I'm just going to put that out there. Everfrost, also a very excellent read.
Who's the publisher on that one?
Black Mask Studios.
Okay.
It's I hate to spend all this time reviewing it, but basically it's kind of got like a fantasy bin where you're kind of dropped into a world and they have their own stuff and their own words and you don't really know what any of it really means, but it insinuates well enough. But the characters are cool. Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Batcat.
So good. So
is that the Phantasm right there on the cover?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's been in all 5, at least 4 issues. I think all 5, right?
It's issue 1, yeah.
Yeah, from the beginning. Yeah.
But on the cover,
this issue was so good. Yeah. She's been on the cover of almost every.
No, Phantasm. Also, has Phantasm been on the cover?
Yeah, but I think mostly in the variant covers.
I didn't even think about the variants, but I'm an A cover guy, man. But she's been all over the book. They didn't really hold her. I didn't read the solicitation for it, so I was shocked when they pulled her into the story in issue 1. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. This one good. It was. It's like,
this one was so good. This is probably my favorite
fight because now's the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
the blood just splatters on her face.
Right? Oh, so good. We have to talk about that one. I'm going to have to read. Yeah, Everfrost is cool. It gives you 2 very cool characters that you want to follow and learn more about. And the world is like fully developed. And so it lets you know from the beginning that there's a lot of secrets about this world that you don't know. So you want to explore this world and find those secrets, and you want to learn the mysteries of these characters.
Yes, got a lot of people picked up Basilisk.
That's a great cover.
Yeah, that's
a
great cover.
Probably the best cover of the week.
It looks just like the Nice House cover. Can't tell them apart.
Basilisk.
There you go, Scott. Another person holding Basilisk.
Yeah. Very good. And Out of Body.
Yeah, that's a contender for cover of the week right there as well.
Yeah, this one's really good too.
Chris, did you pick? You did. Yeah, you just held that up. Yeah, dude, the colors on this are insane.
Right, and the way it shifts through each layer.
Yeah, I was very, very pleased with it.
Yeah, so that's all I picked up this week so far.
Fondling the Basilisk.
I'm probably going to go back and get Justice League and Nice House on the Lake. I'm going to pick up at least one cover of that.
You did read both of those already, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you were ahead of me on the Justice League. You kept asking me about it.
Yeah, I just Oh, Justice League Dark is so good.
All right, so I got that Crime Syndicate number 4 of 6. Consistently fun. Just it has that straight comic book feel to it, which kind of plays well because it is really, really dark. These are some bad guys you're dealing with, but they still make it too heavy. It had some little goofy and oddball moments in there, but it was good overall. Justice League 62. What happened in this? I don't remember what happened in this, but Justice League Dark was fantastic.
Yeah.
I honestly don't.
Pretty accurate.
I'm trying to think about what happened in it.
Brutus just drags them like they're nobodies, and Batman like.
Wonder Woman's mom comes to Flash, and then Flash like, I messed up the formula. Yeah, okay, now I remember.
Yeah.
Batman, Catwoman, really good. If you enjoy that so far, that was a better of the issues. Still haven't read that from last week. Batman, Second Son, I haven't read that. Well, I thought I read everything. Batman Fortnite, haven't read that. I read that digitally. This was a second print. But Suicide Squad, fantastic. Batman 109, the issue I've been waiting on. This does not make up for the other 8 issues, but this single issue was fantastic. It really was. Got that 1 in 25 variant.
Nice.
House on the Lake. Good segue, Ryan.
Nailed it.
And another graduate from the
That was too smooth. That wasn't even planned. I'm mad because I have 3 variants for this that I had ordered that are on the way, and they got held up in the Augusta USPS limbo. Welcome to the Thunderdome. The Swamp Thing, cover A, and man, I had to.
Yes, sir.
How could you not?
I don't know. Well, in all honesty, I left thinking that I bought Nice House on the Lake, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is another copy of Swamp. So I had to go back and get Nice House on the Lake. Same cover, you can't tell them apart. But yeah, it was gorgeous. And then Immortal Hulk, what a great read, amazing fight, just grotesque goodness, as you've come to expect from Immortal Hulk, and Out of Body, which I read earlier today and really enjoyed that. Like, there's a lot going on in this. Like, you were left just wondering after this, and I thought it was fantastic. And that stupid Iron Man book found its way to my house. From Alien Comics.
Ooh. Other than like the Batman annual, that was the Bao Fam story. Was that annual 5 or whatever? I don't generally enjoy annuals. They always just put a bunch of random crap in there.
Except for X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
With covers by Arthur Adams. Yes, sir.
Yeah, a lot of...
he doesn't read Cullen Bunn.
No Basilisk for me. I just didn't care for it. I mean, I didn't try it or anything. I just can't add anything else to my pool right now, man. I have like 3 books I didn't read that I didn't even realize I didn't read. I was telling them, like,
telling me to read Detective Batman and Shadow Spider and all that.
Yeah, you should read. You shouldn't read anything but what you're already reading, plus Spider Shadow. Like I added two titles this week. If you think about it, Nice House.
Oh, that's true.
Like I'm not missing stuff. It's just I can't read it all. You know what I mean? So there's 2 out of 3 people on the panel tonight that have read it. So I feel like I'll have a good understanding hearing about it for like the 4th or 5th time this week. Again, you know? Yeah. So do y'all have any books specifically? Like, there's no way we're making it through all these books. It's already 10:19. Is there any of them that y'all want to spotlight? All right, let's speed round a few that you feel you can speed round through. Just burn.
Let me start by saying, if you were considering Worst Dudes and you chose not to, excellent choice. I read that book. It's garbage. It's trying to lean into this like shock jock culture, but it's 2021. Nobody's shocked by anything. And it kind of like winks at you all the time. Like you're supposed to get the joke and you're just like, this is kind of cringy because nobody cared about that joke.
Let me tell you something.
This was shocking.
Comic Trader sends out shock boxes.
So yeah, Worst
man.
Dudes I thought was kind of garbage.
Sorry.
I think the one surprising thing about Worst Dudes is that it was published by Dark Horse Comics, and I mean, most people tend to agree. You know, Dark Horse usually has a pretty solid standard for quality, and this book is just. I don't know. I thought I didn't like it, but the more podcasts and stuff that I listen to, the more everybody says the same thing. They're like, "Yeah, I don't know why Dark Horse picked this up." So.
I hope they're not going down like the Dynamite direction. Like they sold Alien and Predator, man. Like that was
That's true, man.
They sold
it, or did they lose
it?
They were, dude. They had books hitting shelves like the same.
They still have Marvel hitting shelves.
I don't know. I thought the last thing was the original screenplay that they had turned into a comic book because you could buy that.
Yeah, but didn't the last issue just drop like a month or two ago?
Yeah, the last issue of the original screenplay hit shelves, and then the next month Marvel started with number 1. Like they were, so I don't think there's any.
I thought they were at the same time.
I don't believe there's.
Anyway, not the point. They just lost those 2 properties, so they do have a pretty big content gap to fill. But and like I said, I'm pretty sure this Aubrey Sitterson, the writer, like he did another book for them that was kind of the same thing. It was just a ripoff of another concept, but not as good.
Oh God, no, I'm not, Pops.
So I don't know why Dark Horse keeps publishing his work because I feel like he hasn't delivered on anything as far as I can tell. Yeah, it really just wasn't very good at what it was trying to do.
Chris, what do you got in the realm of not very good at what they're trying to do?
How bad was it?
It was so bad, I felt like Comic Trader shipped this to me and gave me 5 copies of it.
Wow.
I give this 0 maple leafs out of 5.
0 maple leaves.
Look, it's no secret that you guys know my favorite image title, you know, from back in the day was Savage Dragon. I really enjoyed Eric Larson's work on his Spider-Man titles, and then when he went to Image, the book I was most excited for was Savage Dragon, wasn't Spawn, and I thoroughly enjoyed Savage Dragon all the way through, like the first 12 issues, the miniseries, and then the ongoing. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I got past the terrible release dates. Like the book was constantly delayed, not as bad as Liefeld stuff, but it was still delayed. And I really enjoyed it. The storytelling, the artwork was superb.
Wait, did you say delayed comics?
Right. So, and then, and I'll be honest, I read Savage Dragon here and there. I don't like the fact that he tries to hop on the gimmick train for U.S. politics. As we know, he does do a lot of spotlighting U.S. politics, and I'll just be honest. This is just bad. Like the artwork is bad. The storytelling is lazy as hell. Like it's.
Does this lead into anything, or is it just a standalone?
It basically shows. It basically tells a story of the second Savage Dragon showing up in Canada, meeting this team, which is essentially just a cheap knockoff of Alpha Flight, and they're standing around playing pool, and everyone introduces themselves, talks about how they were individually scattered across the nation, and collectively a superhero named the Canadian decided to put together an Avengers type of team so that they could deal with, you know, the threats to Canada on the global scale, because you know my country is being annihilated on the global scale, and you know, something that Deadpool Wolverine couldn't handle. But yeah, it put together. They come together and they decided to invite, you know, the Savage Dragon, who is from Chicago, but apparently in recent issues has been trekking into the Great White North.
He turned over
and it's such lazy writing that at one point while they're playing pool, the Savage Dragon decides to shoot pool and hits, you know, like connects a ball and sinks every ball on the table, and then says, "Oh, I've never played pool before. Lucky shot." Like this
pool guy.
Like that's just grown grown type of writing. Like
Yeah, Chip says the discount was just to offload the books, the LCS.
And the part that to me irritates me the most, not just the lazy writing that any teenager with any kind of imagination can come up with. The artwork is bad, and that's the part that really disappoints me because again, I'm an Eric Larson fan. I enjoy his variant covers when he's not doing the Savage Dragon. I actually seek them out, and it's not that good. Like there's an attack on Winnipeg. If you guys have ever heard of that city, they have an NHL team where aliens come to wipe out Winnipeg. Like Winnipeg is such a joke to Canada. We call it Winterpeg because it's just bad 11 months out of the year when it comes to weather. And it happens, and then Savage Dragon, or then the team decides, since they were just attacked by aliens, well, they might as well go up into space and attack the aliens on their homeworld. And Savage Dragon says, well, I have a wife and kids. I can't do that. And that's how the story ends. Savage Dragon returns to, the homeland, and it looks like North Force is off to space to take on whatever. And I guess issue 2 is going to be North Force, not in Canada, dealing with anything that's supposed to be Canadian.
At the infinity and beyond.
In the end, they talk. In the end, they give like a quick bio of everyone who's on the team and their first appearance, which is all Savage Dragon issue 255 or issue 254. Again, the artwork is just not good. Like,
that's a great piece of art right there.
Like, come on, Eric, man. Like, come on, man. You drew Spider-Man, for God's sakes. Like, come on, man. Like, he took over Spider-Man after Todd McFarlane, man.
Winnebago.
So yeah, like I said, 0 Maple Leafs out of 5 for
Wow.
Well, I know you guys don't read this, but just to burn through one, Crime Syndicate was, like I said, consistently good again. Really fun. This 6-issue miniseries has been the first introduction of the Crime Syndicate post Infinite Frontier. So it's really our first introduction into Earth 3 since then. And they've kind of been the first 3 issues was a little mini story arc inside of the 6 where they were dealing with the Starro invasion, which was the event that kind of introduced all these characters to each other in this timeline. And they were not banded as a team. So you have Alexander Luthor, the good guy, trying to put together a bunch of metas that he sees the dangers of the other ones out there. So they're rushing to put together a team. It's kind of like a race to build a team, kind of a play of power on the actual planet. So Owlman and Superwoman are trying to go recruit Ultraman. And she says that she can pretty much get him for sure to jump on the team because she explains to him that she wants to take over her mom's island and take over power there. And she wants one thing that she can't get there, and that's an heir. And even back in like the New 52 stuff, you always had Ultraman and Superwoman together, but Owlman was really with her behind the scenes, So you're seeing a lot of familiar concepts of just being retold from an origin standpoint. Minor differences, like Power Ring is called just the Emerald Knight in this, and you get a cool spotlight on how the rings that they wear corrupt the wearer. Like you could be a good person, you put the ring on, it's going to corrupt you. But he wasn't exactly a good person going into it. When his little backstory, it was fun. Definitely worth the read.
Isn't there another story where they talk about someone who puts on a ring, it changes their personality for the negative? What's that story called? The Lord of the Rings? Like, come on, guys. Like,
I thought they didn't wear the ring.
You put it on and never mind.
No.
Don't they fight a spider?
Wait a minute. Are you talking about sports right now?
Right.
Oh God. Justice League 62. Did everyone read that?
Yeah.
Wasn't bad. We have Hippolyta showing up. We saw a cameo earlier in the series. Actually cameo, a very well-known, recognizable character pop in for a brief moment. But she cameoed earlier in the series, and now she's come back to apologize for her behavior in that brief stint. And we have just the flashes behind the rest of the team are on Naomi's homeworld, dealing with getting their butts handed to him by Brutus. And Barry realizes that he kind of miscalculated when he sent him there, so they're going to go after him. And they get there basically to say, let's go. Hippolyta comes down and just basically lands on top of Brutus, completely ending the fight, looking like ending Brutus, threatening everyone who was around cheering it on and saying, guys, let's get out of here. So they leave us a cliffhanger on that note. it was actually a decent read, like getting just the Hippolyta and Flash dialogue and everything, and they didn't waste time on the scattered fight that we had in the last issue, which seemed a little pointless hindsight now looking back on it. But yeah, the Justice League part I don't think was bad at all. I enjoyed it a lot.
I thought it was all right. It didn't really move the needle for me either way. I've long said if it wasn't attached to Justice League Dark, I wouldn't be picking it up separately. So it is what it is. It's not bad. It's not great.
That's nice work.
Yeah, I'm ready for to get the ball rolling. I mean, it's rolling like in terms of like there's stuff happening. There's a really cool fight. It was a little choppy on the dialogue. It was definitely a little choppy with the panel work. Like going from one scene to a next, it looked like Aquaman's in a house talking to people, and there's an explosion. Then you turn the page, and he's driving a tank. Like like how to get in the tank, but you have to read forward 2 more pages for just brief little dialogue referencing how he got in the tank. But it is a little choppy dialogue to it, but I'm excited to see what's going on with Naomi's homeworld, because when she did that 2-page spread, seeing her old area just destroyed from this character who's Brutus's boss. But yeah, I'm not disliking it at all. To me, it's better than just okay. It's not amazing though. It's definitely not amazing yet.
Yeah.
Well, I will talk about a book that has that word in the title.
Well, we're going to have to get there after Justice League Dark, because that was amazing.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to jump on this segue there, but okay.
Well, we'll feed you that same segue after Justice League Dark. I do want to hit on this.
Yeah. Yeah, Justice League Dark was awesome. It really blew me away. Much, much better than Justice League. I like that Ram V wrote himself into the universe. How cool is that?
Yeah, he's in the library. That was really cool. I like that we got a little tease about something's up with Zatanna. I like the fact that we're kind of getting toward that split between Etrigan and Jason Blood, because we're actually talking about it now. Constantine's calling him out on "you should be dead," and I actually prefer the demon over you. And you have Jason Blood just wielding and fighting himself instead of bringing the demon out. That was cool how they brought the bookkeeper out by just messing up his library. So they're hot on the trails of Merlin, and we find out where Merlin's off to, and he's off to the original Atlantis, and he's made it there. So that was a cool little twist there. He's going to try to wake up. Yeah, he's going to rise the original Atlantis. So thought that was awesome. I would even say it was amazing.
Yes. Yeah, it was awesome because like Ramsey's been
boom, and that's how it's done. All right, I'm not going to talk about the franchise. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was just going to say it's awesome because we've been following the story so long, and Ramsey's done a great job of like building up the villain, but we haven't really known the motive yet, and this really like kind of gave us more of a motive for Merlin, like as to what he's doing, rather than just like walking around being powerful. Well, that's great, but now we kind of know like he's out for war and he's going to build an army to do so.
And I like the little reference when the dude said, "Are you a god?" He's like, "No, gods are petulant, power-hungry people who don't accomplish anything. I'm a man and I'm on a mission," kind of thing. As he jumps out of a boat and walks on water.
Right.
Yeah. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Are you sure? Okay. The franchise issue 67 has another appearance of Teresa Parker, who is Peter Parker's sister. They decided to go down this road because, maybe there'll be movie potential. I don't know. Anyways, Teresa shows up in the prison where the chameleon's being held. And she decides to interrogate him by force by tagging him in the shoulder and then pummeling him senseless to get as much information about her and Peter's parents as possible. The book plays into Betty Brant being pregnant, and she runs into Peter in a coffee shop. She talks to Peter about, surprise, I'm pregnant. She's literally pregnant, like 9 months, and she springs a surprise that it's Ned's baby. Ned Leeds has been dead in Marvel for a while, but the whole clone conspiracy storyline went around the whole idea that Ned was cloned, and Peter wiped out most of the clones and didn't want to tell Betty. He had the eternal struggle that he didn't want to tell Betty that Ned is still, in fact, dead. And although, everything that happened around the clone conspiracy, that wasn't the real Ned. He's still dead. It's just Oscorp being Oscorp. Long story short, she says that it is, in fact, Ned's baby, and that Ned's been living underground, and they've only been having rendezvous secretly a few times during her pregnancy. The story flashes back and forth between that struggle and the struggle with Peter's sister trying to get information out of the chameleon, and one of Peter's friends who is seeking more energy to fire up a special project that he has going, tries to make a deal with some people from the underground. And I was surprised to see that the villain that Todd McFarlane first drew when he took over Spider-Man 298 makes his appearance in this. And for those that don't know, I'm talking about Chance. So if you remember the cover of issue 298 of The Amazing Spider-Man, Chance is the villain that's taking on Peter. And the next issue, you actually see Chance and Peter team up. Anyways, Chance is dealing with Peter's friend. It's a little bit of a weak story point as far as I'm concerned. It flashes back to Peter deciding that he's going to tell Betty the truth about the clone conspiracy, and that there were all these Neds, and that Peter stopped them all and wiped them off the face of New York City. When he knocks at Betty's door, she opens the door, but who's in the background? Ned Leeds. And that's where it kind of stops, whether, okay, is this in fact the Ned that it was supposed to be dead, or is this a clone who has in fact impregnated Betty?
I hope it's that one.
Right. And afterwards, the story flashes back to Teresa Parker, again, just bitch slapping the hell out of the chameleon to try and get any kind of information out of him that apparently he may have about, Mom and Dad Parker. And at this point, the chameleon says, okay, enough is enough. Behind this door here in this prison is the answers that you seek. And it kind of frames it up where when he opens this door in this prison, we're going to see, Mr. and Mrs. Parker. But in fact, we have a character walked out called the Finisher, not the Punisher.
So is that who impregnated her?
The Finisher. No, that's a different story. That's a different story that's happening. So yeah, this the chameleon introduces this man, the Finisher, as the man that killed the Parkers, and that's where it ends off. So
that's actually a big kind of story to take on.
Right. So I'm presuming the chameleon conspiracy. This is part one of which is going to be the chameleon leading Teresa Parker down the road to the truth that she's seeking, or that it's all going to be just BS and it could be the end of the of the chameleon. The final couple pages actually talks about Dr. Octopus and how he seems to have some sort of chip implanted in his brain that's ordering him to put together the Sinister Six. And in fact, they want two different teams of the Sinister Six. So we may have the Sinister 12. And the final words for this particular page is the Sinister War is coming. So I'm presuming when the chameleon conspiracy is over, Marvel is going to try and, up the sales for the Amazing Spider-Man again by bringing in the Sinister Six. Or maybe it's going to tie into, the movies that are coming out, because we all know that the publishers like to try and tie into what movies are going to be coming out.
That's a new strategy for them to try to pump up the movie properties that they don't have their hands around. Because like when they didn't have Fantastic Four, they tanked the comics. When they didn't have X-Men, they tanked the comics. So that'd be interesting to see if they're actually playing nice with Sony.
Yeah. So yeah, it was was okay. 2.5 Maple Leafs out of 5.
Well, that's cool. That's definitely cool. I do like to see them playing nice, because one person who doesn't play nice is the Avengers. Because they're the that started this trash. Because the Hulk was just chilling in a bar, and Thor came down and just started trash, and it did not work out good for Thor again.
Just having a drink. He was just having a drink.
He was. Dude, the best part of this whole book is when, in the beginning, Blade, like, all right, there's a little bit of stupidness to this. When Blade's like, you get stronger at night, and you die and you come back. You've been bitten, hadn't you? I'm like, what? That's kind of dumb. And the Hulk thought it was
what?
The Hulk thought it was dumb too, because he grabbed Blade and goes, vampire. So you could turn into a bat. He goes, no. He goes, well, you might want to learn. And he literally throws him across the city. Like, he's like, you're out of here.
If you want to blow me up, I will actually show that right here.
It was awesome. That was a great
that was a good scene.
Panel.
Is this it here? Yes. So Blade says no, and then he's literally airborne over the city. You can see the city well below Blade as he was tossed.
So it was a very strategic move, because in the very next panel you have Cap looking at Iron Man saying he can't fly, go catch him, and Iron Man's like, no, he's trying to separate us for the fight. That's what he's doing on purpose. And he's like, dude, you have to go catch him. He's like, you ain't gonna want me to catch him, because you got to go catch him. So we got Blade and Iron Man out of the fight like that. Like, he's the coolest part of this Immortal Hulk is, like, I think I mentioned it before, like, he'll slowly be like crushing your brain while he's philosophically explaining to you why you shouldn't be alive at this current moment in time. Like, it's fantastic. He's really cool. But then Thor's like really wanting revenge from Hulk breaking his jaw in one punch and dropping him like a bad habit in like issue 8 or something. And he's really coming in hard at the Hulk, and he's like, enough is enough, and comes with a huge hammer strike with lightning flashing and all, and hits Hulk's hand and pretty much disintegrates his hand, just a loose floppy goo. Like, it was a beautiful panel. So what does Hulk do? He sticks his arm out as quick as he can and slaps him in the face with that goo so that he regenerates around his head. So the top of Thor's head is sticking out of his forearm, and Hulk's got him suffocating in his forearm. Like, it was outrageous. Wow. Let me put him back up there. Oh, I got the book right here. Justin sent me this camera. I'm going to flash it. So he's got his head stuck in his forearm, suffocating him. So Black Panther kind of gets a lot of spotlight in this. Like, he's coming in hard with all this like suit tech and all these energy gloves and everything, and he cuts his arm right back off. So he loses the same arm twice in this, but it doesn't matter. Gamma Flight shows up, and it kind of throws the dynamic of the fight off. We find out that She-Hulk is kind of tied in with these Gamma people more than she realized she is. She dissents from the team, ends up leaving with Gamma Flight. They get Hulk out of there, and they're all back to the Shadow Base, and the fight kind of just ends in a separation, and that's kind of where we leave off. We do know that Gamma Flight's about to spin off into its own series here soon that I don't think anyone will be reading, including myself. And, I'm ready to see where they're going to go from here, because they did mention that the leaders behind all of this, the Hulk was trying to tell them, like, calling the Avengers stupid for thinking he's up to something that is the leader. The leader's the one behind all this. So we've got 3 issues left to get to it.
It's time to get to the leader.
Mm-hmm. And he's in a big way right now. I'm kind of curious how they're going to handle this. I don't think it's going to be with fists. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to do something more than just punch him. And here he comes with a book. He's coming with a book. Ryan holding the book. Ryan's holding the book. He's pulling the book up. As he shuffles to the book. There's the book. All right. We got Out of Body number 1 by Peter Milligan, art by Naki Miranda, and colors by Ava De La Cruz. What did you think, Ryan?
I really enjoyed this book. I've heard quite a few reviews of it at this point, and like everybody's thing is they thought it was kind of lackluster and that it was trying to do too much at once. But to me, what I thought was brilliant was how many different things it did at once, and yet like still gave us a good sample of each of those. you probably could have got a little more out of each facet of it if he had focused more on one thing. But I think all of those elements are going to be extremely important to the story every step of the way. And so to bring them all in right here at the beginning and set that up from the top, like, to me, makes sense. And I really enjoyed it the way that he did it. It was well paced, in my opinion. So
it kind of felt like a cinematic in an element, like how it gave us like a little cut scene of one person, then another person over here, then they all started converging. I thought that was really smooth. Like it felt cinematic. Almost had like that not like elevator music, but just like those subtle like tones just pacing you through all of it. Like not like too fast paced and not too boring of music. It just felt smooth.
Yeah, it was very well done. I like the way you have like, I guess this is like Dorian Gray.
That's what I was thinking when he called him Dorian, the immortal man.
Yeah, which is weird because like, why would we all assume the same Dorian? But very much seems to be a thing there. So you got like this guy that has basically made a deal with the devil, and now the deal has come due.
Yes.
Yeah, he wants a body or a soul or something.
Yeah.
Looks like he needs some fresh skin or some lotion.
Yeah. Then you got this like young lady here.
Yeah.
She can like astral project, and it seems like she's not super strong in her abilities, but it seems like her way in is people that are basically near death as they're kind of crossing from one realm to another. She's able to kind of connect with them and talk to them and astral project through them. And so that kind of leads you to the big setup there of like, we have this guy in a hospital bed and he was left for dead. So he wakes up and he's a psychologist. So he has a pretty good sense of like what people go through in these kinds of moments. And so like he's able to keep himself calm, you know? And so he basically plays dead, but his brain is still working. So he's hearing everybody come into the hospital and talk about what happened to him. And that's kind of where you get like what seems to be more or less the crux of the story is that he was pretty much beat to death and left for dead, but he hasn't quite died. And so he gets to hear everybody that comes in. And so he's collecting information as people come into the hospital room, and he's using that information to try to figure out who killed him, who tried to murder him. And so that's how the astral projection kind of gets involved in that. And you get like a rotating cast of characters from his life through the people that are coming into the hospital room, as well as like his flashbacks as to what he remembers from that night. And from there, you're meeting this cast of characters. Well, one of them that comes in is like his girlfriend, who is also his research partner, who is also married and also sleeping with him. So there's plenty of human messiness. Do what?
Pretty much on top of patients.
Oh, yeah.
Like controlled psilocybin trips.
Yeah, see, they're basically doing research. Like they're researching this lady that's tripping on LSD back here, and they're basically getting jiggy with it.
No.
So yeah, there's like this human messiness involved in all of this. So you got the messiness of this guy that's made a deal that he can't pay. He's getting involved with the astral projection chick, who is getting involved with this supposed to be dead guy who has all this human messiness going on in his life. So his girlfriend shows up and injects him with psilocybin. And so he takes a nice little acid trip right there in the hospital room, in his hospital bed.
Yeah, that's actually beautiful work.
I was about to say, as soon as she hit him with that, like it was awesome how the art reflected it. And one thing that I thought was cool about like just the way the dynamic of the book, as I'm reading it, like as soon as we meet him in the hospital bed, I don't know why, but my brain just automatically went to like what happened to this good guy. And like as you're reading it, the way that he's responding to these people coming to visit him, you're like, dude, this guy probably deserved this on some level. Mm-hmm. He probably did something. He's clearly not a good person.
Yeah.
It's the jealous husband.
Yeah, and I also can't like reiterate enough. It's not just him like tripping on acid. He is a researcher in the field of psilocybin. So while he is tripping, he's also like going through the scientific side of all of this and explaining what's happening. And like, so again, it's another layer. It's not just like, hey, what if our patient like tripped in this story? You know, like there's actually a whole layer of storytelling that's going on there as well.
In his field, he works with people with drug addictions and recovery, and they're working on the controlled properties of psilocybin, which is an active ingredient in mushrooms, not necessarily in LSD, because that's synthetic, which was, these people didn't do their drug research in that aspect. But psilocybin is what they're using to kind of control and moderate people with drug addictions in his field. So that's why they had that. That's why they were doing all that.
Yeah, and like you said, he works with people with addiction and stuff. And there's this investigator, homicide department coming to investigate a murder of a not dead person. But whenever he comes in the room, yeah, whenever he comes in the room, the guy even describes him as an addict based on like a million little things that he picks out of his personality. So you kind of have like a Sherlock Holmesy kind of thing going on there too, where he's like picking people's personalities apart based on their habits and mannerisms and stuff.
Good night, Pop.
So, man, we're losing them all at once, huh? This book must be bad.
No, we're hitting that 11 o'clock mark.
Yeah. And then again, like we said, the astral projection, it starts to come into play as the young lady crosses over and starts to communicate with him as he's kind of like fading away. And so you kind of see him go out the window. And again, it reminds me of Tom King's Batman Catwoman, as great as a segue as that would have been. In the sense that like there's all these different timelines and there's just slight variations on the color and artwork to let you know you're kind of in this different thing. And so, I mean, we saw like the trippiness with all the different colors. And then this one, his death stuff is very, the astral projection stuff is very clouded in blue. So it makes for a really interesting read.
It was interesting how
that's where it got crazy at the end when he's going after him.
Where his projection, like he was trying to hold on to his body. And then he's like, I'm just exhausted by literally his astral projection was literally trying to clamp onto his body, and that he quickly went exhausted. So I just can't fight anymore, and whatever's pulling me out, he just gave into whatever was pulling him away.
And it was cool how they just the white light and the new horizon beyond it, and how it's like people assume one thing of it, but it's not somewhere that you want to go because nobody ever really comes back from that point.
Yeah,
it's like the point of no return.
Yeah,
and I love that the way it cliffhanged with the little do boy for Dorian puts on that old school scuba suit covered in sigils and stuff. Like he's not on the level of the girl who's astral projecting is what I'm getting the sense of, or he's going to need that suit to step into that realm to be able to go pull this guy out to retrieve that spirit or that soul or whatever they want to classify it as.
And that cover for number 2 is wicked as well.
It is gorgeous.
Like, I'm excited about this book. I like how many different things are happening and how many layers there are. And the amount of competence shown through the introduction, you know, like to me, it didn't feel like I need to pack all this stuff in. To me, it felt like it was very intricately weaved together because he knows why it's all tied together and why it's all important. And it's not just like, I wanted to have all these things, you know?
It was almost like a more digestible Tom King. It really is, like with the multiple layers to it, the multiple different stories going on. But you bring away more with one issue than you necessarily would with the Tom King book. You know, where you get those common complaints from people like you have to wait 6 to 8 issues for everything to start coming together. With this, you get a sense of it
starts out all together.
Yeah, you already feel it all together. You're just looking at why it's all together from here, not how is this going to piece together. So this was definitely a great read. I personally feel like it was easily in my top 3 of the week. Like there's 3 books that just stood out really big this week, and this was one of them.
Heck yeah.
All right, Chris, you got it in your hand. Not your basilisk.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah. I hate that I don't have my variants for this.
I don't even have a physical yet. So
I heard that this book is almost sold out across the board, and well deserved. Well deserved. I went into this blind. You know, the synopsis on this book was pretty brief, just talking about this shady guy that knows some people and decides to bring him into this house, and I thought the book was going to be like these people being picked off one by one by things going on in the pool or things going on, in the lake or whatever. And boy, was I wrong. It wasn't the people in the house at all that went through any kind of horror. It was everyone on the planet outside of the house that went through some sort of horror. And
It was so good.
This is for those that are soured on Tinian's Batman and don't want to touch something that's killing the children. This is a good book. Like, this should help, help your faith in Tynan's writing if you're soured on what he's been doing with Batman. Because in the end, this is a DC book, even though it's a Black Label, and him and Alvaro Martinez Bueno own the rights to the book. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I don't know how much value is going to be driven into this first issue, at least, because they printed and sold 160,000 copies.
I
commented
on somebody's stream the other day, like, dude, just go get a digital or something. The value's in the read, not in the paper. You know what I'm saying? Just read it.
Yeah. Which I'm pretty excited about. I think that's awesome.
See the awesome ad in the front cover?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, boy, we getting close.
Yeah. I saw it with all the different posters and stuff the other day.
Hands. Oh, you haven't watched the trailers yet, have you, Ryan?
No.
Oh, my
really?
God.
Really?
Okay.
And
I haven't even read the clip synopsis from The Nice House on the Lake, so why don't you explain what happens?
You haven't read this yet?
I've read the book. I haven't read the synopsis. He said it was brief. I had even less information than that.
Oh, it just says that people gather together around mysterious Walter's lake house for unseen events, kind of thing.
They say that Walter is quirky and weird, and that the people who go to the lake house they're so desperate for a vacation or for a getaway because everything that's happened in their lives over the last year or so, they're willing to overlook how different of a person he is, just to get away and enjoy the scenery and relax and have this vacation for a week, at a nice house on a lake in Wisconsin.
So I thought it was cool the way it opens up with her sitting on the steps, clearly already having been through a whole lot, and the buildings or the statues are burning behind her. And she's just talking about how it was the end of a late night in Brooklyn, just kind of reminiscing on things. So it was already a dynamic start. And we get to track back to her meeting Walter and her friends and everything. It was cool how when they kind of give the brief introduction to Walter and the invite he puts out, that she shows up at the house and kind of meet the cast and crew. You get that really cool 2-page spread and everything. Yeah. But it was cool how they go through meeting the cast and crew, because having read it, looking at it, it's no longer the lead character explaining who these people are. It's almost like it's a dossier of Walter's, because you get the person's name, you get the association between the person and Walter, you get their purpose. Like, this is an artist, this is a writer, this is a comedian, a reporter, and you have the symbol to represent each one. So by the end of it, what I assume is he's created a Noah's Ark for the planet. Like, he's literally just pulled one of each kind of important person of society or an example of a person of society. And those symbols, I think, are whatever he is, it's what they associate with that. Like, if he's an alien, then that's their language for what best describes an artist or a writer or a reporter or whatever, a scientist. So he's gathered a menagerie of people to make it through the end of the world. It's kind of cool.
It was interesting for the fact that one of these people have an affiliation with NASA. That's actually spotlighted in the dossier about that person, is there's ties to NASA. So at that point, right away, I was thinking, okay, is he not human? Like,
he referred to Earth as your planet.
Right. And it's
so they gave us more in this first issue than I was expecting. When we did that page turn, and we get all the little social media snippets, and we even get Cole Turner. Cole Turner from the Department of Truth makes a cameo in there, right there. Cole Turner.
Isn't Cole Turner from Mortal Kombat?
No, that's Cole somebody else, isn't it?
What was his last name in that movie?
I think it was Who Cares.
Might as well be.
Yeah, isn't Cole Turner the lead? That's our lead character in Department of Truth, right?
Right, because Cole says, I effing knew this was coming. They've been preparing it for years.
Yeah.
And
And then we saw, like, y'all did catch where the Tiny Onion made the little cameo in her computer earlier in the book as well.
Yeah.
So there was all kinds of little James Tynion Easter eggs in this. It was really cool catching those. But that 2-page spread, we find out that everyone's melting, like the world's on fire and everything, and they see it, they freak out, and Walter's like, "It's cool, you're here, you can just stay here." And they think, well, freak out, and Walter swing at him, and he starts morphing and twisting, and find out that he's a wicked cool something. He's like an animorph, but he didn't turn into an animal.
Right. Yeah. She literally tried to cut through his head with a weapon.
So it ends with pretty much them finding out that they can stay at this house forever. It has everything they'll ever need. There's nothing left to go to, and this is it. This is the end with no James Franco.
Or Michael Cera, right?
Yeah, oh my God. He was hilarious.
All right.
So is it true that Tynion said that this is the first 12 issues and that there will be another volume after this 12? And I don't know why I think that there might be 10. I don't know how many there's going to be. Is there 12 or 10?
I didn't even think it was supposed to go that long. I thought it was like a 6.
All right,
there's 10 symbols on the front. So
there's
maybe
10 symbols on the front, and
okay, well,
one of them is highlighted yellow so far. So that's what made me think that's kind of a common practice with certain books. Like if you pick up Batman, Catwoman, when you open to the first page, it's a 2-page spread of a house, and the first one, only one of 12 windows was lit up. And each book you get, you see that same picture, but there's the next room light is lit up. And it's just, you see him do stuff like that in books all the time. So I just assumed.
Then the next issue, the symbol that's here is the symbol, I believe, for the pianist. So maybe then the story will take place from the point of view for the pianist, because the first Ryan. Right, because the intro to the story where we see the person dealing with Brooklyn, maybe we'll see where they are, post-apocalypse, for lack of a better term.
So you think we might be getting a little bit of backstory spotlighting with each character, each issue?
That's maybe what I would assume.
Forward telling? Like I'm presuming the story, the main arc is going to be them dealing with each other in the house, but maybe, what is prologue, the word I'm looking for, will be where each character is in the world after they leave the house. And the thing is, it lives up to its billing. It actually is a very nice house on the lake.
It was. They made sure to tell you numerous times.
Yes, the kitchen looked kick ass.
I did.
I can say that, right, Mike? Yeah.
You just did.
It's after 11. Legion After Dark.
Legion After Dark was Chris's channel last night. Good God, that was fun. And Cardboard Crazies. Chip Gettler went off. It was hilarious. He was turned all the way up yesterday. It was hilarious.
Wow. So yeah, I enjoyed this. I really don't know where it goes from here. I mean, like you said, I guess it's kind of dealing. I mean, we can assume it's going to be kind of the real world meets this is the end or something. These strangers learning to deal with each other in a post-apocalyptic world where they're the only survivors. But where does it go? What is it going to really focus on? Because now we got what we assume is maybe an alien creature, and we have a world that's destroyed and a bunch of people that are semi-strangers to each other in a house. So what do you think the play is?
I think
all handpicked as well.
I think that the world's not destroyed. I think that's a throw-off.
I thought that reading it through or going over it a second time, maybe the alien just lied about everything. But then again, what was the first part of the story? What was the first 3 pages?
her sitting in the burnt down house because she got the statues behind her that they walked through later.
But in Brooklyn, she said though, right? She said she was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
No, it started in Brooklyn, and she flashes back to meeting Walter in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, that.
Where she's getting suited up, putting the mask on and the bandage over her eye, which looks very much like some covers that I'm waiting on. Remember that B cover, Chris?
Yes.
The skeleton and stuff?
Yeah, we spoke about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When she puts it on, it looks like there's some heavy damage under there.
Right.
Before you guys go, I know it's not comic related, but any opinion on the Foundation TV series based on Asimov's book coming out? That's pretty cool. I
didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, I didn't know they were doing that.
Oh, big fan of Isaac. So yeah, I will definitely check it out.
So we were totally late to the hype game with Jupiter's Legacy. So we'll definitely,
I don't pretend to know anything about what's coming out.
Yeah, yeah. And when he does find out that, he just knows what to dodge. So I'll look it up and see what I can find out about it, so I can form an opinion on it.
Yeah, that's interesting information because the Foundation has been due for a good series for a long time.
Do you know where it's supposed to be platforming at, Miss So? Like if it's going to be on television or a streaming service or what? Ryan, I told you should probably check it out just to be able to give your opinion on it, because I'm curious to hear your opinion on it. But did you read Batman 109? I know you haven't read 106, but I think you would have liked this issue.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's for Apple TV. Yeah, that's why I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, none of us will be watching it.
No, yeah, I didn't read it. No effort either. Not gonna lie.
I don't think any of us have Apple TV. I'm a Samsung guy. I think Apple TV is the only streaming service I don't own, and Chris is Canadian.
It's here though.
Oh, you have Apple TV?
It's here.
You might buy it just to have something to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up and see what's up with it.
Yeah, it does. Anything Asimov that comes out, it catches my attention.
So Batman 109 was pretty cool. Yeah, Apple TV.
So you're confirmed?
Do you have an iPhone, Chris?
No, sir.
None of us do. Look at that.
No way.
Yeah. That's why this is the best group I'm in.
Yeah, not doing it.
No, I drink vitamin water, not the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. I'm a Samsung guy. But this was really cool. They actually, I feel like they touched on every plot thread that's been abandoned or unnecessarily made, all the way from Poison Ivy that was mentioned for some reason a while back. They touch on how the gardener comes to Harley and tells her that Ivy's under Gotham, like pretty much comatose, spreading her roots all through the city. At any point, she could pretty much have a breakdown and collapse the city, which kind of explains what was going on with her in the green. Like that's her subconscious. That is her conscious, completely away from her body in the green, where she's comatose under Gotham City, just spreading her roots. Ghostmaker gets asked directly what's up with the mask, and he's like, only 3 people have seen my face, and that's why he wasn't wearing the mask in that one issue when he was like TJ Combo from Killer Instinct drinking energy drinks with Batman.
Slamming vitamin water.
Yeah, he's not blind at all. We get Simon Saint shows his hand and he makes his play openly to Batman about what he's shooting for with the city, and 50 Cent thanks you for your service. And Peacekeeper #1 comes out swinging like a Terminator. So it was awesome getting to see him come out and everything. So Batman goes to Storm Sane Industries like he's big bad, like, tell me where Scarecrow is. I know what's going on. And he has to run for his life.
Where's the trigger?
Yeah, where's the trigger? But it was actually really good. It was good. I'm not going to just trash it because I've been trashing it. I'm going to be honest. It was good. This issue is how the next issue needs to be. And after that, they need to continue that. A lot of things were answered. A lot of plot progression just keeps it moving now. Keeps it moving. Let's get to the end of this magistrate stuff. It's been going since January. 2 issues a month since January. Gets it moving. Keeps it going. Let's get past it. I don't want to get past it because it's garbage. It's just it's been long enough now. Let's get it moving. And Peacekeeper Catwoman looked savage in this this version 1 suit where like he's not completely encased. You can tell what arm or what leg is prosthetic versus his whole body looking uniform. His raggedy hair is hanging out the back of this hard metal face mask, and dude, he was a beast.
Very cool.
Batman had to eventually get good. It is Tynion after all. I hope they are still starting to trust him to do his thing. Yeah, I just don't. I think it's just the fatigue of being on a monthly versus being on something with specific parameters like a limited series. So this was hit. Maybe he just had to get his story timed because when you're dealing with continuity, and we talked about this with stuff like Flash. It's had 3 issues of just. It's not really like the Flash story we're wanting to see. Like there's no real forward momentum with Barry or Wally's actual life. We're just standing in place telling the story. Maybe like it's because you have to get your books to line up story-wise with other things going on so they happen at the same time. Maybe that was the case, but this issue hit the ground running. It was fantastic. Not as good as Batman Catwoman, though.
I was going to say, you still got time to talk good Batman?
Get it. Go for it.
Do you read this one, Chris? No?
No.
What's wrong with you?
I got North Force instead. Sorry.
Oh my god!
Nailed it.
Thank you. Good night. We are Legion.
Oh my god. Okay. This issue was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was.
Like it's easily my favorite one of the run so far. Not that any of them have been bad. 4 was probably the weakest. 5 totally made up for that though.
Chris, I do gotta say, it's Clay Mann art, man. It is like what's the word I like to use, Chris? It's crisp.
It's
crisp. I was going to touch on that earlier. I totally forgot.
Just fire.
Look at that page.
Yeah, that's almost cinematic. That's
it
perfection.
Yeah,
that's perfection.
Whew.
Oh, and here's the.
That's what we're doing. So if you want to know what issue number it is, just count the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lights on issue 5.
They also have. You can see 5 at the top there, with the jingle bells thing.
And I counted this issue. This issue 12 will come out at Christmas time. You know what I mean?
Sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I was thinking like, why do we keep getting all these Christmas songs? Like, oh, this is issue 5.
Oh,
yeah. We're in month 6, so we'll be getting the final issue in the holiday season.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, every issue starts out with like music playing, some kind of Christmas jingle, and they start this one out. It's great because you have like all these different timelines, so you just have to pretend like you don't know what time is, and it works perfect. So you got old lady Catwoman just chilling, like drinking, and she hears a crash outside. And Jingle Bells is playing in the background the whole time, keep in mind, so she's just sitting by the fire, sipping her wine, and she hears a crash outside. And doesn't she say something specific? Oh no, she just looks out the window. She says, "Oh God." And you hear the music is coming from Harley's car, and this is old lady Harley. So she hasn't been present in the story yet. And she shows up and she's all like drunk and stuff and very belligerent. And that's when we get our first Tom King time jump. And we go back to a younger, I guess like middle-aged Catwoman.
Did you get the sense that this is Catwoman upset that it didn't work out with her and Batman?
Oh yeah, this was 100% her right after the funeral or the wedding. Right after the wedding went wrong, this is definitely her out on the town after that. But so she's out on the town, and then see, Chris, there's Andrea putting on the mask and everything.
Yeah.
And Catwoman is questioning her motives there.
Dude, don't skip it. Show them the page. with
That's
Catwoman and
kind of the
Phantasm.
only one that's really out of time, right?
Look at that.
Look how cool it
Look
looks in
at that.
like the Mask of the Phantasm. Way more awesome in this than in the movie, The Angel of Death. So then we cut back to Harley approaching Catwoman, or I guess old lady Selina, and Harley. This is where you kind of know exactly that she's an older Harley because she puts on this white mask, but you can see right behind there old wrinkly Harley, which is just great. Oh, it's so good. And then they kind of have like a Tarantino style fight across like throughout the house, and they're fighting back and forth, and they're having this dialogue exchange. And like Selena is so brutal. And basically what you find out here is Harley's mad because at the end of the first issue, or is it the second issue? The second issue, yeah, at the end, Selena kills Joker. So Joker's dead. Old lady Selena shows up at his like retirement home in Florida and slices his throat. It's great. And that's why they're fighting, is because Harley's mad because Selena killed Joker before Harley got the chance to do it. And so you cut back over to Selena, we'll say post-wedding, getting all drunk, walking down this alley, blah, blah, blah. And there's great scenes with all that stuff. And then we're also cutting into the stuff with the Phantasm. And what you find out here is that the Phantasm takes Selena and she's like, look, this man, it's kind of a Dexter situation where like the Phantasm is killing people, but these people have done wrong. They're bad people. So maybe they do deserve being killed. And that's basically the choice that she gives Catwoman. She's like, look, he deserves to die. So I'm going to kill him or we can fight instead.
Yeah,
your choice.
you stop me. If you want to fight me, now's the time because I'm about to kill him.
Exactly.
She's testing her moral compass.
And so Selena makes a choice there.
She just stands there. And what does
watches him
say in those panels? Like, your angel of death awaits. And then you see the blood splatter on Catwoman's face. I'm like, oh, that was fire. Which is cool because if you look at the whole thing with Harley, like the whole fight with Harley over Joker, Selena's not fighting to hurt her. She's just fighting her because like she knows she's upset and she has to swing or she's going to get killed by Harley. So it's the whole duality thing, like of I'm not fighting. Like even though we're watching a fight take place, you know, Selena's just getting through it. Like it's a whole like this whole issue is just checking Catwoman's morals. That's what this whole issue did. It was really cool, and seeing how she went from being somebody who stands there and watch somebody die to somebody who's going to just get through a fight and handcuff somebody. Like you kind of see like a whole change in her perspective from those flashbacks to her at an old age, and it's like that time with Bruce did things for her, you know. And she talks to Harley through that fight about how being with Batman was like being with the best person ever, and how she grew from it, and this and that, and like. Joker,
oh no, that's not how I took it at all,
dude. She was saying it when they were going down the stairs, wasn't she?
Well, she says that you know, a man who hid his heroism behind the psychosis of loss because he couldn't ever admit to the arrogant idea that he was a good person.
But you were too bad.
So let me say, it is easy enough to recognize the same stubborn idiocy I saw in him in you.
Yeah.
See, Harley, the problem is why you couldn't do it, why you never did it. You're too good to be bad, and I'm too bad to be good.
So it's just a lot of self-hate, I guess, then.
Well, no, I think what the point here is that, you know, sometimes you're perceived a certain way because of the people near you. So like when I was growing up, I would make friends, right? And I would go hang out with these friends and we would do things and get in trouble and like, you know, stupid youth. And then I would go back home and my mom would tell me like, I don't think you should hang out with him. He's such a bad influence, this, that, and the other. But that's my mom. That's her perspective. I'm the good kid and they're the bad kids. But the truth is, I would go hang out with these kids, and it was oftentimes me that was inspiring the trouble that we were getting into. But my mom's perception was simply this. And so I feel like that's what this book was showing us, was that Harley was never really a bad guy. She never really did anything bad. She was just always in the presence of the Joker who did bad things. so she was presumed a bad person and a bad guy. Whereas I think Catwoman, what she's trying to say is that she was never a good guy, but she was considered like an anti-hero because she was next to Batman. So people presumed that she wanted to do the good thing, even if she was always internally a bad person that wanted to do the bad thing, you know? She's kind of saying an anti-hero is also an anti-villain, you know, like it's one and the same. And so I think that's why it's important when she gets drunk, she falls through this roof and she's trying to steal like a gem just for fun, just for shits and giggles, because she
one
can
that she'd already stolen too. She was going back to see if they replaced it with a different one.
Yeah. And so she's drunk and she miscalculates and falls through this roof and sets off all the alarms. And she would have gotten arrested here and gone to jail. But Batman shows up once again and saves her from the law and takes her out. So she doesn't get arrested. She doesn't get a criminal record. She's still not perceived as the bad person she is by the general public. Batman always knew how bad she was, but he always covered it up for her, you know? And so I think that's what comes into play. I think that's why it was important to see her stand by and let the Phantasm kill somebody. So you have to see that she has no real moral code. She doesn't mind watching them die because she's actually a bad person at the core, you know? And then at the end, her daughter, Helena, walks in and sees everything that's going on, which I think is going to be important in the story moving forward, because now we know that Helena knows who her mom really is, you know, in the most dark of corners.
Well, sir. Fiddlesticks.
You should be reading this.
Anyway, yeah, you should be reading. Like, this book is so good. Like, every issue is just like some other crazy stuff like that. The characters themselves, although it's like very like rated R, very adult, spiritually it feels a lot like the Batman from the animated series and the Catwoman from the animated series and the Phantasm, obviously, you know, but spiritually it feels like those characters some more, you know, so I really enjoy that aspect of it.
Are you romanticizing that because the Mask of the Phantasm was based in that timeline?
Did you see Harley's car?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Show him
he showed it there.
Yeah.
Looked like a 30s car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and whenever Catwoman went to see the Joker, like in the first issue, it was like an old what's the ones where they drive off the cliff at the end?
Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise, like it reminded me of that car, like a convertible with like that like 50s, 60s style.
Yeah, there's a lot of it that
Airstream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff in this series so far that's kind of played into that Batman the Animated Series feel. No Batman in this issue, though.
I was going to say the interiors look really crisp. Who's the artist? Did you mention it earlier?
Yeah, Clay Mann. It's out of the park, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, the artwork is so good.
Those are very nice visuals.
So Suicide Squad and Swamp Thing are the two I got left.
Giver.
It's 11:30 on my end.
Shall we carry it over to next week?
It's up to you two. It's an hour earlier for me, so.
Dude, I'm beat. I'm absolutely.
I got time for all the books.
Suicide Squad was great. It's better than the last issue. Swamp Thing is just carrying on something that's fantastic. Basilisk was very good too. And yeah, thank you. Good night, Weird Legion.
Yeah. This was fighting nonstop from cover to cover. They told us a lot of stuff. There's something wrong with Superboy that played into like what I mentioned before. I don't think he's going to make it out of this series alive. Red X gets called a Batman level intellect. There was a lot to this, a whole lot to this. They did not get Bolt, and and even more so exciting, Red X's whole play in all of this looks like it was just to shut down the squad, throw some turmoil in it, just to open Rick Flag's door. Boom! The Flag is back. So there's about to be some awesome dynamic with Rick Flag. We got the OG of all of the OGs of Suicide Squad is back into play finally. So we were wondering where he was at. We now know Amanda had him locked up. Oh, that's funny. I don't know why. But even more so interesting, Swamp Thing was really good. Levi and Holland kind of talk for a little bit, just getting more control of what's going on amongst himself. They're looking for his girlfriend. Swamp Thing finds out that big behemoth thing, he needs to go conquer it, basically. I guess it's kind of like some kind of inner conquering, conquering the beast within to try to get control of yourself, because he is in the green. This is all subconscious, and he does it, and they get out. So we know that they went into the green when they were kind of x-raying him earlier, and they get out, and they leave there, and a team comes in, like they was obviously trying to track him down. They find some evidence, this and that, and brain scans, and they pass them on along, and people are looking at it, and they reach out to the Suicide Squad to come do something about it and get their hands on Swamp Thing. So the Suicide Squad is continuing to be the backbone of DC continuity right now.
True.
Yep.
I hate that we burned through those so fast, because both of those were top tier reads of the week, but I feel like they'll be talked about plenty as we move forward as well on anything. I know that I've talked about them a lot already.
Well, next month the conversation around those will be interesting because they're on the same release schedule, whereas like Teen Titans Academy and Suicide Squad were on separate release cycles when they crossed over. So it'll be interesting to see how Swamp Thing and Suicide Squad do it at the same time. Dude, we'll be able to talk about both of them as one big chunk.
Dude, look at this release week. Like Immortal Hulk, Suicide Squad, Batcat, Out of Body, Nice House, Suicide Squad, Swamp Thing. Like what?
Yeah.
What?
And it was a smaller week than, say, like last week or the week before, Yeah, so it was nice that there was like quality content in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't even get to read everything. I can't believe that. I still haven't read Detective from last week. I've been busy, man. What do you got there, Ryan? Is that something we haven't seen? Oh, that's your stack.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean that's just all the physicals I picked up.
I do want to give
Everfrost. I suggest if you're into like fantasy stuff, and then Basilisk, as Chris said, very good. I don't.
Yes.
Chris, did you read Man or Black last year or the year before?
No.
No.
Man or Black.
That was another Cullen Bunn miniseries that felt kind of similar to this. Like, here's a small town that's been affected by this group of people that have some kind of special ability, and one of them is turned against the others, and so we're going to learn more about the circumstance of the small town and the people affected by them, plus whatever their magic ability is.
Yeah.
Big shout out to the Blue Hellion, Dan Eckery. He AOK'd me a book and threw this Joker book. I think this is a 616 exclusive. He threw this in there.
Isn't that the John Boy one I got?
I'm not sure. This was not this was a retailer exclusive.
Yeah. I think it's the same one I won from Team Nerd Herd.
It might be. And then this Batman the Detective by Kale. I don't even know how to say his last name, NGU or something like that.
New? I thought the G was silent.
I don't know, man.
By the way, issue 3 is coming out this Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't
know. If it's not fried, I don't know what it is.
But this is the one that he sent me. So that's just gorgeous.
Nice. Yeah.
So I'm going to take everything down from up here. It's all been sitting up there for a while, and
replace it with Federici.
Put all those up there now. I couldn't put them up because I didn't have that first one. I'm like, I'm not going to put up an incomplete set to display. That doesn't even make sense to me.
Your OCD could never handle it.
24 out of 25.
Yeah. Dude, I put all the timeless variants up there. That was difficult. There's 33 of them. There's 32 of them in one per store. That was stupid. So stupid. But anyways, I appreciate everybody coming on tonight. As always, I mean, if you're here at this point, I figure you are subscribed to all 3 of our channels. And if you're not, go do it. Tomorrow, all of us have content coming out, so check it out. Yeah, that was easy. Yeah. So as always, till next time, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.